Good people YouTube, I'm the Watch Idiot, and whenever I get a new watch, I always end up trying it out on like all of my straps just to see what looks best on it, what fits the watch even. And considering I got the absolutely incredible new Longines Spirit Pilot, it's time to try it out on all my straps, and I figured I should bring all of you along for the ride because I have a feeling that some of you might be curious to see how much of a strap monster this really is, especially if you're considering this watch. And I'm more excited because Longines gave us this watch with a 20mm lug width instead of 21mm, which makes me a very happy boy. So I guess this video is kind of a celebration of this new lug width, and honestly this video wouldn't have happened if it was any other lug width. So in this video I'm going to show you the Spirit Pilot on 2-piece straps, first of all, like my rubber straps, leather, sailcloth, canvas, etc. And they'll be generally ordered, most favorite to least favorite, I guess. And then I'll show you the watch on my single piece straps like NATO's, and almost everything will be linked in the pinned comment. I couldn't find some of them online because they just don't exist anymore, I guess. But even still, I wanted to show you guys a pretty wide range of straps and looks. And plus, I'll talk about why I love 20mm lug widths so much. Anyways, let's get into it. So first up are my many 2-piece straps, and this is generally what I prefer. I'm not really a huge fan of the single pass straps anymore. I used to be, though. That's why I have so many of them, which I'll show you in the next section. But really quickly, just look at it on my strap code, Beads of Rice straight end bracelet, and it really does work really well. It looks really good, although I have really no idea when I would swap out the amazing bracelet out for it. But I mean, it's a mighty fine looking combo. I mean, you can't go wrong with Beads of Rice. But onwards to my first strap, and it's a given. It's my absolutely favorite strap, the Strap Habit sailcloth strap. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by anyone in this video. When the Spirit Pilot was first delivered, I had to go out and I didn't have time to resize the bracelet. So I took it off and I put this one on. And I gotta say, I was very tempted to keep it on this strap because it just works so well. And it's somehow available in every single size, even odd lug widths. And I love the strap so much. It's so soft and comfy that over time I ended up getting a black, gray, and green version for pretty much every single size, 19, 20, 21, and not 22 yet, but there you go. And here it is on the green version of it, and it of course touches on the utilitarian military vibes of the watch, and it adds a little bit of color without going crazy. And finally, I'm not really much of a fan of the black strap version of I lost some lighting, but I guess we're gonna go for a little bit of a moody look today. Finally, I'm not much of a fan of the black strap here, although it does look good. It's just that I don't like it when a black strap ends up being darker than a black dial. It's just a me thing though, probably. Next up, we've got some leather straps, starting with my gray straps, and this 2-stitch, I think it was a nubuck originally, looks pretty much perfect because it's a very warm gray, and the stitches are also cream colored. So these warmer tones play very nicely with the gilt dial, and it's awesome to see how this strap has patinaed over time because it used to be a bit more gray. But last year I found this Saffiano-esque leather strap, and it's a bit more tapered and a much more gray, and it's got normal stitching, so it looks absolutely fantastic. But the strap does need to be worn in a little bit to get comfy. I usually go for thinner, more supple straps, but it does feel really good now, so just something to keep in mind. Next up, the suede straps. Of course, the gray is looking perfect. I mean, this is one of my absolute favorite straps I've had for years, but for fun, years ago, I also got some other colors, and while unconventional, I do think that they can work well with this type of watch because of the polished details on the Spirit Pilot. That helps dress up the watch a little bit more, so I think these different colors can be a nice pop of color in the winter too. Then I've got a canvas strap from Blue Shark, I think, and they call it the pajama canvas strap as far as I remember, because it's so soft and it does live up to its name completely. I've had this one again for years, and it works on so many different watches, and it of course looks absolutely spot on with a watch of this kind. Next up are the rubber straps, and to me they don't quite look right on a watch like this. I think they seem to look a bit too sporty for the gilt dial fixed bezel nature of the Spirit Pilot. Again, this might be just a me thing, but that said, you know, in a pinch, if I did need to wear it on one of these rubber straps, I would totally do it.
Editing idiot over here, and I just realized that I didn't talk about brown straps because I really don't wear them that often, but They do look, of course, really, really good on this watch. So I've got a brown strap with the 2 stitches, and I can't remember when I got it. This was a random one on Amazon. It's honestly not that great, but it is linked if you want. And the tan strap is actually a strap that I got from a Dan Henry watch that I bought years ago. It's a chronograph. I can't remember which one it was, but it looks good if that's what you want.
And I think this is a good time to say that I have a bigger problem with 21mm lugs than 19mm lugs, because so many 20mm straps taper only to 20mm, which to me on a watch that's 39mm, like the Spirit Zulu Time, just looks overpowering. And then in terms of why I love 20mm so much is that I just have a huge collection of 20mm straps because I have a bunch of 20mm watches. And because I have a bunch of 20mm watches, I know that when I buy a 20mm strap, I can use it on a whole bunch of watches instead of just like 1 or 2 watches. It's kind of a vicious cycle. And I looked into the numbers. I've got 32 watches with 20mm lugs, many of which will be sold soon. Then I've got 14 watches that aren't 20mm, of which only 5 are odd lug widths. So 1 19mm watch and 4 21mm watches. And of those 4 21mm watches, I'm planning on selling 3 of them. So basically 1 19mm watch and 1 21mm watch. So yeah, I mean, why would I spend big money on straps for these singular watches? Okay, so now on to the single pass straps that I used to be a huge fan of, and I've got a whole lot of gray straps here, but don't worry, I have other colors to show because they all pretty much look perfect on this. And of course, we'll start with my gray NATOs, and you'll also notice that I've cut off all the bottom sections of these NATO straps because I just don't like the look of the bulk on my wrist, which is kind of irritating because when I see it on other people's wrists and photos of it, it looks so good, but it just doesn't work for me when I look at it. Anyway, I should note that there is enough space between the case and the spring bar to fit pretty much all of my NATOs with maybe just like a touch of touching. But if you do have a thicker strap, you might find it a bit difficult. And this Barton strap seatbelt NATO looks mighty fine. It's my absolute favorite NATO. And I think this seatbelt style fabric NATO straps look more refined and higher end. And because of that, I think they'd really go well with this sort of elevated look of the Spirit Pilot. That said, these stretchy elastic straps really do work fantastically well. And to me, they're much more comfy. So if I was gonna go for a single pass strap, is gonna be this. That said, the more normal looking NATOs still look really good as expected. The gray NATOs look perfect, but the green NATOs pair very nicely with the gilt dial. And I think while this isn't really like wearing a color, because it's kind of neutral, I guess, it's definitely a nice change of pace. And the same thing goes for the navy strap. It's very subtle, yet it works with pretty much every watch, works very well with this one. And it's just a nice pop of color that I actually might wear soon. So there you have it. Let me know which combination you like the best down in the comments. And until the next video, good day.